your sleep. Eating in your sleep.
I am Coach Cameron, and I see a whole army of little soccer warriors here in defiance of out of control coaches and parents. You've come to fight as free players, and free players you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight?
No. Not against them. They're too scary. They scream at me repeatedly, and if I don't comply, they will take me out of the game. And I'll be embarrassed and ashamed. So will I fight? No. There's too many. I can't fight. I don't want to be subbed off. I want to play. So I'll do what they say.
Aye. Fight, and you may be subbed. comply and you'll stay on the field, at least for a while. And retired many years from now. Would you be willing to trade all the games from this day to that for the one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell the parents and coaches, shut up and no more, this is our game, not yours, and to tell them that they may take our game, but they'll never take our freedom?
MLS Next Coaches don't care about your development. This is a long show, a lot to talk about. We have a lot to cover tonight because I've been gone for like 2 weeks. But tonight our focus will be MLS Next Coaches don't care about you. They don't care about development. How do I know this? It's the same coaches, same clubs, using a marketing plan to get you to think it's a pathway to whatever. Well, it's not. Now, I'm not saying this is the case for all the coaches, because there are some good coaches out there and that do focus on individual development, that care that technical development can help you play soccer for a lifetime. I know there's some coaches that are good, but I do know there's a lot that are bad. And a lot of it's because of the structure of U.S. soccer education system and the pay-to-play model that is currently in effect. You're going to produce the same kind of coaches year in and year out. Why? You must have a very expensive license, or more importantly, a thick accent. Leave a comment. Let us know that your coach primarily focuses on development or the individual player. If your coach develops players technically, in addition to the tactics of the game, please let us know, because we want to promote he or she or them or shim or whatever. I don't know, whatever you woke people want it to be, so be it. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast so you will know when we are live, which is typically every Sunday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Before we discuss why MLS Next is just another scam of garbage, not saying all of it, just saying most of it. Welcome to the show, Jack.
What's up?
Who trained with Richie Ledesma?
I did.
Yes, you did. Yeah, we got a picture of you and Richie together, and me. Last night you were training with him. He's, for the ones that don't know, Richie Ledesma played for the U.S. national team. He played in 4 games for the men's squad, and then made his U20 debut against France in March 2018. Professionally, he signed his first professional contract to the Dutch club, PSV, and apparently Barcelona is trying to secure him, we think. Here's a video of Jack and Richie training together. And then, here's some drills Jack did. Here's Jack doing some finishing drills with them.
Wait.
What? Yeah, Jack scores 2.
Oh.
Did I skip something?
No.
Okay. That's a great hit, El Lefty.
Go! Great job, Jack. Come on. Let's keep finding those corners, bud. Come on.
That one went in,
Did it?
I think.
Well, maybe. Well, and then you guys did some free kicks. Here's Jack trying to hit a free kick, and then Richie following. This is on like a 7-foot tall wall, by the way. Miss. And then here comes Richie to show Jack El Rojo how it's done. If you say so, it must be so. What did you say, Jack? I can't hit those?
Yeah.
Oh.
Something like that.
Yeah, and that's why I always say it. If you say so, it must be so. All right, check this shot. Over a 7-foot man wall. And that is a goal. All right. And also to the show, welcome Jet Cameron. It's his birthday.
When did you get that on?
Yeah, he just snuck it on. So Jet is, how old are you today, Jet?
11.
11. He's 11. And in the backyard, you megged Jack.
And almost scored.
Almost scored. All right, show that video. Here's Jet and Jack battling.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah, it is. That's assault, brother. Now, we have a lot to cover tonight. We have a Jack versus Jet battle coming up, Learn Your Rules segment, and all ball. Referee shortage problems. We're going to discuss more pedophiles arrested, even a female coach this time. And it also, we have a ton of cover about coaches. And we actually have a video of a coach coaching their kids in a huddle at halftime, saying the right thing. So that's going to be good to know. I would also like to announce that Rich Williams, an active listener of the show, he's coaching PSG 07 boys. And if you're interested and you're of that age, there's tryouts this Saturday, 8 a.m. at Turney Park. This is in the West Valley in Goodyear, Arizona. I truly believe if you listen to this podcast actively and you're trying to do the right thing, I would recommend you. So I recommend Rich to coach your kid. I also saw him coach at Millennium, the JV program, and they went undefeated. Right, Jack?
I think they went 9-1.
9-1
Yeah.
or undefeated. Anyways,
Somewhere in there.
good coach, trying to do the right thing. I support him fully. Also, it's my birthday tomorrow. And I find it very annoying when people say to donate to some charity on their Facebook page. So stupid. For my birthday, I want you to donate too, but to my foundation. And this is how you do it if you want to support the DACA kids of Phoenix College. Grab that video. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So this, you go to phoenixcollege.edu, you scroll to the bottom, and once you eventually get there, you click on the Bears logo. Click on the Bears logo, and then on the top, you'll see donate or sponsor. And you click on that, and then that's how you give to athletics. Pick your dollar amount, and then obviously choose men's soccer and donate to that. All right, get out of there. So that's how you do it. Please support that program. So if you do that, it is it's a foundation, 501c3 through MCCCD. And if you donate there, they'll email your receipt right away for a tax deduction as well. So if you want to support this podcast, support the Dreamers at Phoenix College, and typically it's the Dreamers that play for the men's soccer program. Jet, you're out? Mm-hmm. All right, Jet's already out. He survived.
But next
Sunday?
Full Deadpool, and I'm staying the whole time.
All right, well, shut it all the way, okay? Pull tight. Okay. All right, Jet's gone. He lasted his 7 minutes. All right, MLS Next. Here we go. Does not care about your development. They only care about survival and collecting money. That is it. Prove me wrong. How about you do this? Listen intently to the coaches on the sideline. Are they belittling players, or are they correcting them after the fact? Do they allow learning, or do they joystick them exactly what to do? Comment. Let us know. Are coaches coaching, or are they feeding their own ego? This is what I see on the soccer fields.
What was that?
I thought I had the shot.
You thought? How many times do I have to say this? You can take as many shots as you want during practice, but never, ever in a game, especially not the championship game.
You cannot talk.
No. Dixie, go ahead.
Yeah.
Ease up on him.
You ease up on that corduroy jacket of yours.
That's right. Ease up. And yeah, it's kind of funny, but that's what it is. That's truth. Right there's truth. Comedy, there's always forms of truth. And yeah, it might hurt some, whatever, and you're getting all upset. In comedy, there's truth. That's why it's funny. So regardless if it's labeled MLS Next, GA, ECNL, it's all the same with different organization rules. Isn't this what you see? If we're being entirely honest, this is what coaches do. They don't care about you and your technical development. They care about their own ego, and they care about winning. Why? Winning at the youth level gives you a small circle of supporters that tell you, oh, you're special, and it allows you to get paid continually, and you build up a resume in hopes that you can go D1 or coach in the Euro Cup someday, which won't happen. And a lot of coaches will huddle their players for a pregame talk away from their parents and say stuff like this.
There are two types of people in this world. There's two types of people in this world. There's winners and there's losers. And just so that we're clear, every time we step on this field, our goal is to be a winner. And if your dad has said, oh, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, just as long as you have fun, well, I hate to say it, your dad's a loser. Okay? So let's get our hands in. That team's pretty good, but we are gooder. So let's go gooder on 3. Let's go gooder on 3. Here we go. Hands in. Hands in. Hands in. Come on, talk to your English teacher here. Gooder on 3. 1, 2, 3. Gooder!
Now, I'm a proponent that parents must be in earshot of what's being said because that is a parent's education that will inform and teach what parents should do. So pay attention to what's happening. Take a piece of paper, write down what is being said. Are they trying to teach your child to develop their game, or are they manipulating performance to get the win? Do you make comments as a coach to try to get an advantage on players or officials? What's really going on? You have to pay attention to those details. Now, I'm all about winning. We're all about winning, but you cannot try to win beyond the point of sacrificing development because you don't know what that kid, that player, regardless of age, what they're going to become. Do not be that dividing stake to destroy development. That must exist. You can still compete and still develop. That's absolutely the truth, but a lot of people don't have the guts to do so. Do not sacrifice that. So there's a lot of talk about this topic, and we can talk about it all night, but let's lighten things down. Let's do a segment of Jack and Jet as they battle it in the backyard. You all right?
Oh.
Let's go.
Now, my backyard is set up to breed a culture of soccer in my family and the community. This matters. That's how you develop. You don't have to go pay some coach and make sure it happens. You know, Jet keeps getting better and better, and hurt a lot apparently. But it's important that you take ownership as a father, as a mother, as a guardian, that you control your development. You can control it. Put them in soccer culture. Put them in that soccer environment. In an op-ed article from soccertoday.com, it says the costs of having player participate in highly competitive soccer are extremely high, especially when you add the travel costs for participating in U.S. soccer academies, ECNL, and even U.S. soccer regional and national competitions. Youth soccer is now estimated a $17 billion industry, largely driven by travel teams, or as it's known on the West Coast, competitive soccer. This is bigger than the NFL.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Travel is expensive. The hospitality industry is the real winner. Of course, parents want to watch their kid compete. A family youth soccer travel budget usually expands from the cost to cover just one player traveling, with the team to absorb airplane tickets, car rentals, and hotel accommodations for adults. While it's lovely to cheer your player on from the sideline and enjoy being with the other parents at the bar, these travel expenses are huge. But how many parents are actually saying the word no? That is what Zlatan said about youth soccer in the States.
Ibrahimovic has criticized the sports setup for children in the USA, saying it has to be said that the sport is expensive. We're talking soccer in particular here. He says very expensive. For example, in order for my children to play in a good football team, I have to pay $3,500 per child. It's not about the figure, but for the whole concept, I dislike it very much because not everyone has the money needed, and the sport should be something for everyone because it unites people of whatever origin. Ali Moreno joining me now. What are your thoughts on his comments, Ali?
Zlatan is absolutely 100% correct.
So say no. No, I'm not paying several $1,000s for my kid to travel to Florida or California to maybe be seen by a unidentified college coach. No, I will send my players with the team and stay home, saving thousands of dollars, or say no to football or footing the bill for their kid to play in tough competition far away from home and spend a week in a hotel. A huge problem is the cost of travel, especially with gas prices and inflation. We, soccer parents, are guilty of wanting to see our kids compete. The glamour of travel around the U.S. and experiencing the life lessons team travel is hard to refuse. But by never saying no, we are silently agreeing to pay for these soccer-related costs, all contributing our share to the multi-billion-dollar industry, which is soccer. Has anyone else done the math on typical club fees? Now, I see tweets all the time or comments on my YouTube channel. They're like, I'm in MLS Next and it's free. I'm like, no, okay, maybe for you and maybe for certain parts, actual academies like Real Salt Lake Academy. I mean, the MLS Academy, the MLS Next Academy that's within and it's free. Yes, I get it, but it's not the case, especially in Arizona. If you pay $3,000 to a prestigious youth soccer club like it is here in Arizona, MLS Next, it's a 10 to 12 month season breakdown, which costs roughly around $300. But is it free? They say. Are they telling you it's free? It's MLS Next. No, it's not. Show the overlay. Here's the MLS Next fees. So this is programming fees showing it's very expensive. You still got uniform fees. That's not cut. It's still you're paying. You're footing the bill, and the MLS Next fees, as you can see on the next overlay, is the high school. It's 11 months. They want you for 11 months. You cannot do high school because they need your money. It's not like if you go to high school and it's going to ruin your development. It'll expand your development. Not every place, but usually it does, especially for the high-level players. It's a great opportunity to be the leader, to be able to take a team to the next level. Experience is experience, but denying them that experience of playing in front of your high school, representing another jersey, a different culture, and anything like that, just because you have to pay some coach to train you with hardly any competition during the winter time is a crime. It's a travesty. So who gets hurt the most? Everybody, really. The Aspen Institute new survey confirms that kids from lower income homes participate in organized sports less often than children from wealthier homes. The average income in the U.S. home is $59,000. According to research from the sports and fitness industry, children from low income families are half as likely to play sport as kids from upper income homes. While travel costs are the most expensive in soccer, if we're going to pay this kind of money, the coaching has to be much better. Has to be. I'll give you an example. So there's a player named Joel Sangwa. Joel Sangwa came from Africa. He's a refugee. Did not play club ball at all. Not at all. He actually played for Congo FC, which is just an African league. We happen to have Phoenix, Arizona is the #1 refugee drop zone in the United States. I found him. He became the player of the year at Phoenix College, and there's only been 3. In the ACCAC, there's only been 3 players of the year. Joel Sangawa was one of them in 37 years. He's now playing at Akron University as a center back, even though he's a better 6. Here, show a video of him. This is him playing at PC. Look at that thing. Rewind that, Jack. Watch him. He's so calm. He's a defender. No problem. Just chill. You didn't learn that in club because he never played club. Here's him against Pima. Sit down, Tucson. He's just very athletic, calm on the ball. He's a great player. And didn't play club. How is he playing Division I? How? It wasn't pay to play because we paid him to play at Phoenix College. So he is at Akron University. He'll end up going pro. I was contacted by the J League, a recruiter from J League. They're already recruiting him, and he's only a junior at Akron. So, when he finishes there, he'll be J League, MLS somewhere. But the guy is a baller. Never played club. How's that possible? He didn't have an MLS Next Coach, A license, someone with an accent telling him what to do. He had this guy telling him little to nothing. I was just say, hey, go to class. And he's now at Akron University. A revised narrative to keep kids in the game. So this is a article from sportsbusinessjournal.com by Skip Gilbert. And please don't go anywhere. We have some flipping amazing videos coming up. So bear with me. I got to get this out and get this done. The premise is that the pay-to-play model is creating a barrier to entry. Years ago, while I worked with the Olympic movement, many of the youth sports in general discovered that creating 12 months programming, listen to this, 12-month programming led to a constant revenue stream that provided the ability to hire coaches, trainers, and other staff to support their infrastructure. Pricing increased, they labeled the program elite, and the economic engine was off and running. This was with not just soccer, with many sports. They all are copying it. Basketball in Arizona right now is now becoming more like soccer. Why? Because it's money. People are gravitating to that, and I know people running the show on the basketball side, they're doing it specifically because they can make lots of money if they organize it like soccer, and they're going to ruin that game as well because that's the way it's going to go. Today, we have an elite programming for programs that are at ages 8 and above, with the sales pitch being that this club is the only way the child will get the Division I scholarship. It's ridiculous, but parents buy in. Year after year, they buy in. And here's the next scam. MLS Next doesn't care about you. They want you to pay 12 months fees now so they can create fake pathways to pro or college saying high school will ruin you. This is an absolute lie. It's a joke. It's a travesty. If this is true, Phoenix College would not be sending players all over the country to play soccer. You just have to be good. And you can become good without being part of that craziness. From ESPN, it's absolute madness. NWSL's poor refereing and dangerous play criticized, but no quick fixes in sight, says Chris Ward, who is very measured when speaking to the media. Last week, however, he hit the tipping point. The Washington Spirit head coach spent much of the media availability voicing frustration about the state of refereeing in the National Women's Soccer League and the league's lack of accountability and communication around it. And that's always a problem. And whenever you talk about, where's Megan? You just gotta click her on. She's coming from somewhere. Oh, there she is.
The button didn't work.
Well, Megan always comes back for more. Tune in every Sunday and watch me smash Megan Rapinoe live. 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I've been gone for the last couple of weeks. And the only reason we're on this week is I got a lot of messages like, you said you're going to be on. You haven't been on the last couple of weeks. Are you okay? Why aren't you on? And I'm like, that was awesome. And that's why I'm on. Because of my loyal fans. They average about 200 views on per podcast I do. And I work hard for the 5 that care. So I'm here for you. So it's youth soccer's fault. We scare away young referees because of sideline abuse, because they must win. They must get that call. And coaches and clubs have no ability to educate their parents because they're one in the same. There's nothing that makes sense. But this makes sense. This is girls soccer. And this is why it's difficult to ref at the next level, because they play similar.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle. Hit the field. He's right there. Good. Hey, you just were served a plate of humiliation. How does that feel? Hey! Defense! Come on! You guys know anything about defense?
Do you know anything about defense? That's what you see, especially in the girls' games. It is disgusting. Not all of it. There is good programs. I get it. But I'm talking about as a whole. The fact that there's so many coaches out there saying, go through her, get stuck in, all that stuff. That's what you see. That's why they're getting hurt. It's not because of bad officiating. It's a lack of accountability of being technical, especially in the girls' game. It's unacceptable. It needs a change. Do we have comments that we need to address, Jet?
We have one.
What?
All right. Is there more advantages to play for a club that has access to ECNL and NPL versus a club that only plays in State Cup? Should being on the best team be the main factor?
No, absolutely not. And there's nothing wrong with playing with any of those things. I would choose the best coach that's going to allow your kid to develop. If it's if it's a sideline that's controlled, if it's truly about development, it's not win at all costs, because all I care about, and I have a ton of videos about this, it's all about simple math. How many touches is your child having in the game? You could play for the best team in the state, but they're on the sideline, but you win. How are you getting better? You're not. You can't get better that way. It's all about simple math. How much time is your child on the field? How many opportunities do they get to make decisions? And how much success and failure are they having? That's all it is. If they're averaging, say, 10 opportunities on the ball in a game versus play for maybe a weaker team where you have 30, you go where it's 30. That math matters. And play on multiple teams. Don't play in an environment where you can't do this, can't do this. Play high school, play on a co-ed team, play adult league, play as much as you can. I've had Jack and Dakota and my children play on so many teams. We get as much opportunity as possible. I mean, I know you'll hear, oh, don't play 4 or 5 games a week. Play 4 or 5 games on the weekend. Just don't play them injured. If you can go do indoor and play 6 games on a Friday or whatever, because you're able to just guest play or whatever, you do it. That's how you get better. You have to become a soccer rat. That's how you get better. Not, I play for this team. Those teams, they're good because they recruit. They're going to recruit and they're going to have a good team. Are they developing those players? There's a lot of talented players that went on from an acronym of some sort to Division I or whatever. But how much better did they get? Or was it just because they're an athlete and they got through it? The technical aspect has to be the number one priority for everybody. They have to learn. And that's the ones that are athletes, they're going D1. It's just going to happen because that's what athletes do. But we're not producing athletes that can actually think. They can survive in the D1 game, but they can't advance to the level they wish they could have because we don't teach the technical aspect of thinking. And we don't. Any other questions before we move on? Okay, so sticking with refereeing, Todd Sergi. Is it Sergi? Sergei? I don't know. I know him, and I forgot how to say his last name, but they're doing this newspaper, or this newsreel about to go. He's with the Arizona Referee Administration, and he's on ABC 15, there's a video about last year about Scottsdale soccer field showing a coach taking a swing at a referee. I think he's just swinging at trying to grab the red card, but let's take a look.
Okay, it is supposed to build teamwork, self-esteem, athleticism, but instead, foul words and at times physical fights are tainting youth sports. Only on ABC 15 now, Jamie Warren is speaking with those sounding the alarm.
The Arizona State Referee Administration sending me this video they say is from October of last year, capturing this moment on a Scottsdale soccer field. Todd Sergi says the person who took a swing at that ref was a coach, and during this match, we've blurred the players and referee involved because they're all minors, but you can hear parents scream at this teenage referee. Video shows her breaking down into tears.
And then to have the director of coaching come on the field of play and verbally berate her and tell her that she's not doing a good job and that she shouldn't be here, that she's not capable of doing this type of game. It just was so heartbreaking to see.
Sergi is a longtime referee and serves on the ASRA, a committee for U.S. soccer refs. He says this incident prompted them to create a system within the past year where refs across Arizona can report abuse. They've since had 62 submissions, some about parents, others coaches. These are just some of the statements he says they've received.
The foul and abusive language, the racist remarks, the sexist remarks directed at our young ladies.
But it's not just
I don't know, racist, and I don't think that's what's going on. I think he was just speaking. But I think what's going on is what you saw in the video. A lot of crazy parents going nuts, throwing a fit about every little detail. They care about the win. They should be more concerned. I'm never screaming at a ref. I'm never screaming at the coach. I'm more upset about the environment he's in or the game when I'm watching Jack play. I'm just like, how many touches is he getting the ball? How many times is he being able to make a decision? Or is he freaked out because of the sideline created this whole situation of must win, got to win, it's a playoff game and all that stuff. How did you get better in that environment? How can you play at the next level? How can you play Division I where, there's bigger crowds and there's, more more situations of getting benched and different things. I mean, when can you develop kids? But you have to win. You listen to those crazy parents. That's normal. And you know what day is the worst? Sunday. Sunday is the worst. Go to church. Don't go to soccer. It's horrible unless it's a pickup and you don't have coaches and refs and all that stuff. It is nuts. But here's a solution they think they should do. Play the next video of this. Tom.
A sense of entitlement now.
Finger and Sergi agree mistreatment on a field has led to a high turnover rate for staff.
We can't keep the referees long enough to train and develop them, to give them the tools that they need to be successful.
And that is Kate Namatalahi with the National Alliance for Youth Sports, calling for more accountability.
Anyone who's owning those sports facilities, usually the county or city, they need to say, okay, if it's for sports in our community, this is the focus. This is what will not be tolerated.
Another state took it a step further and said, hey, if we have a report, your club is in jeopardy of not having any spectators on a match for the foreseeable future. And honestly, I think we're almost coming to that point where we have to really take a hard look in holding parents accountable.
How do you keep parents? You don't keep parents accountable. Keep coaches. Coaches, clubs, they should be accountable. Fire the coach. I said on a past podcast, I would love to have the job, have like these tickets, like a cop. And if I saw coaches or parents misbehaving or whatever, I would video it, put it on this podcast, but I would write them a little pink slip. You are now banned for 30 days because you're an idiot. And you have to appear on my podcast, and we get to hash it out. How cool would that be? I do it for free. Soccer, John Ruzan or Jonathan Burzins, because Arizona's separated, because we can't get along. So what do you think the solution should be on controlling these matters? How do you control the sidelines? It has to come to the coach. It has to come to the clubs. Take care of your stuff. Suspend those coaches. You can't, if you're going to go after parents, that's what the coaches and clubs want you to do, because they want the states to do it. They want the cities to do it. They want them to do it. They don't want to do it. They should do it. They're the one taking their money. But because they're taking their money, they're not willing to control their sidelines. They won't do it because that's pay to play. Everyone gets confused when I say pay to play. It's not about, it costs too much. No. It's what money does to people. It manipulates them. It takes away their conscience. It makes them criminals to their ego and their beliefs in the game. They don't care. I'll develop them, but I got to pay the bills. And now it's going to get worse. Why? They have to sucker up to the ones that can pay, because the freaking the economy's getting destroyed right now. Inflation's through the roof. There's a potential depression on our way, or whatever, a recession. You know, they're not going to risk that because they have no belief on what really matters. They have zero conviction on it. I would rather starve to death and not have a home to be in versus just being a tool and just bowing down to these parents or whatever and let them say whatever they want to say. Put it on the dang coaches. That's what I say. Did you know Zidane is now officiating soccer games? Check this out.
Round 1, fight.
Yeah. So for the ones that don't get it, Zidane actually got in trouble for headbutting someone from Italy or France in his last World Cup appearance. Show that. But yeah, so you guys have an idea. But China is set to launch a new youth soccer league. That is right, China. And China is going to take over youth soccer just purely on the numbers. China, yep, China. Don't believe me? Ask Trump.
China, 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 China.
Well, China is set to launch a new national youth soccer league. The country's soccer association, CFA, said, as the Asian nation looks to develop young talent and establish itself as a force in the global game, not just spreading COVID and killing millions, but they're going to try to kill millions in the game of soccer through their mass numbers, which they have a ton of youth. I know there's clubs. I know my friend Tom Byer, he was actually directing one of these clubs in CFA, and it had 1.2 million kids playing soccer in one club. Yeah, they could destroy us if they really wanted to, versus them just doing table tennis all the time. The initiative is being jointly led by the CFA, the Education Ministry, and the State General Administration of Sport, who unveiled a work plan for the 2022-24. So China for long has attempted to market its powerhouse in soccer, especially on the professional side, but they always have low participation in grassroots level. But if they put in the money, we may be in trouble because they don't have MLS Next and all these acronyms. They'll just fund it and let everyone do it and not cut anyone behind like we do. U.S. Soccer announces new license. Here's pay to play. Whether you're a director of coaching, a coach, a technical director, or just a high school coach, you must have a license. U.S. Soccer is increasingly demanding that you have a license before you're allowed to work for a certain level of soccer for safety issues and a certain level of accountability of development. The majority think this is a good idea, yet licensing does not prevent incompetence. This is how you organize monopolies, which limits competition and funnels money to the few, which are the U.S. soccer elites. Because if you don't have a license, you will get a bunch of coaches doing stuff like this.
Do not try this at home.
Vai, Bruno. Ai, cara. Mano, essa tá quase. Tocou.
That's what they think will happen. They'll say that. I guarantee all of them don't have a license. And they probably don't have a license to start a soccer ball on fire. But they did it. Now, the purpose of the Talent Scout course is to help youth scouts learn the process of identification, examination, and monitoring of potential top talented players. Candidates will acquire or further develop the competencies, knowledges, skills, attitude, and personal traits necessary to work as a talent scout. The goal is to help youth soccer learn the processes of identifying, examination, and monitoring of potential top talented players. For only $2,750, this could be you. In order to be considered for the U.S. Soccer Talent Scout course, applicants must meet the following prerequisite. Currently scouting with youth soccer 11v11, a signed letter from a club leader to confirm position, role, and responsibilities. Comment, do you think this will help? Do you think this will help us identify talented players and put us on a true pathway already promised by your club? Does your club have a certified licensed talent scout? If not, demand it or your kids won't be identified. So now we're going to have talent scouts in every club. And if you don't, you can't play in this league. You can't be part of MLS Next. You can't do all those things. Everything's under control. Do not see what's going on. This is fake. Oh, this make kind of hard, like let's make it cost a lot of money. So it must be real. Oh, let's make sure they get a letter from, hey, you got to get a letter from your director of coaching saying this is your responsibility and you can do this. Are you kidding me? You don't have to be a soccer, you could have never played soccer in your life and you can identify talent. Oh yeah, that kid is fast. What a goal. What kind of moves are that? Really? That's what we're doing. And it'll never, ever end. Now, let's lighten the mood. Now it's time to learn your rules.
Learn your rules. You better learn your rules. If you don't, you'll be eaten in your sleep. Learn your rules. You better learn your rules.
Now, Man City won the Premier League, and a lot of craziness happened. And this is how the officers at Man City. This looks like Biden's border control on our southern border. Don't come in. Okay, come in. There is no control there. That is our southern border. But this is how you're supposed to do it. This is a border that's controlled by every country except ours. That was horrible. That was the worst pitch invader of all time. He couldn't wear cleats or something. He made about 5 yards, I think. As a player, you must learn your rules from your coach. Are you allowed to do this?
Messi, 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 immens Messi, encara 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 Messi,
Oopsie. That was a missy. So he wasn't saying Messi, he was saying Missy, 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 Missy. He was going to missy it, and he did. But are you allowed to do that? Is your child allowed to do that? What age are they can't try to do that? That's professional, by the way. Are they allowed to make mistakes? Can they take chances? Check out this video of doing it the right way, I guess.
Run.
When can youth players be allowed to do that? Oh, no, you got to wait till you're pro before you're allowed to dribble the whole team and try to score. Do you think that was his first time he's ever done that? He probably did that as a kid repeatedly and made 1,000 mistakes trying to do that and learned through the process with probably some good environment like free play, open play, where you didn't have coaches screaming at you or parents going crazy. That's a problem. Now check out this video of Messi doing the impossible.
This is one of the most impressive skills that Lionel Messi has ever done. Just watch it in slow-mo. I'll never understand how he actually managed to pull off this skill. How many players can actually do something like this? Messi is one of a kind.
Now, how many players, and I've seen it, by the way, how many players that have that natural ability? I've seen it. I've coached kids that just were born the ability to dribble, and I would let them dribble, and then they would leave. I'll tell you a story. I had the father on this podcast, Roy Aguilar. His daughter, Naomi Aguilar, she would dribble through people all day. I didn't teach her anything. She's a natural. She's a freak. And then we beat Sereno. It was like 12-0. And I would never really run up the score on this is like U8. I would never want to run up score except Sereno because they would always poach your kids. We beat them 12-0. They recruited Naomi, who scored like 7 of them. They recruited her and family. Oh, we have a coaching education program. We have all this stuff. We have all these guys that speak with English accents. Oh, you got to play for us. We have the pathway. They did that. And they nonstop. Eventually, they would have to leave like 4 years later. They left, went to Del Sol, which basically was Serena, all the same coaches went over there, went over to Del Sol and ruined her. She wasn't allowed to dribble anymore. Can't do it. Not at that level. It's too big of a level, even though you see in the pro game. You can't do what you're good at. You can't do with the game that the reason you loved it so much. Ruined her. She quit club, actually played high school for me, got her a D1 to ASU on a scholarship, and without club. And the focus was be you. Be the 7-year-old you. We screw it up. There's naturals in soccer. It's just, they're natural. We just got to stop screwing it up. So the question I have for you, comment, what drill teaches you what we just saw in that video with Messi? What drill? There is none other than train the brain to be able to think. Are we training our kids to think? Or are you the coach joysticking? Are you the joysticker? Are you telling them everything to do? If you are, you're wrong. You're destroying these kids. Oh, they need it. They can't. No, they don't. And it's hard because the opposite side, you got crazy people too. And it's a tough fight, but join the fight. Join me and fight. Here's a video of a coach doing it right. This is what the sideline should sound like. Now, he has an English accent. And again, English accent, guys. I love a lot of them. But there's a lot that do some shady stuff that are here for the wrong reasons. This is what you should hear on the sideline. Here's a coach.
All right, they're having a lot of problems with you running with the ball. They're having a lot of problems with you attacking them with the ball. So do that. Listen up. Hey, he's the kind of player who's going to take people on, right? I don't want any hypocrites on the team. If he goes and beats 3 guys and sticks the ball in the net, we're going to pat him on the back. If he takes on 4 guys and then losing it, hey, so be it. That's the risk we take, all right? So we're not going to criticize you. We're going to give you, hey, we're going to allow you to do your thing on the ball, all right? Yeah, it can be frustrating when you lose it, but the rewards are massive when you're successful with it, okay? But just be aware, if the early ball is on, give it. You don't always have to run. But if you do go at it, you're going to be supported by everybody.
All right. That's what it should sound like. That is a coach. That's a good coach. They exist. That's what you should hear. And that's why parents should be around that. They should hear what the coaches say. It's important. So that concludes Learn Your Rules.
You better learn your rules. If you don't, you'll be eaten in your sleep.
All right, pedophiles everywhere. Utah, Logan, a Cache County youth soccer coach, has been arrested after police say he engaged in sexual conversations and shared explicit photos and videos with undercover police officers posing as a 13-year-old girl. You're not good at your job. Well, that's fine. You remember, you always have to click the screen first, then do it. No way. Then it's on caps. Take it off caps. Do you see that, Green?
What are we doing? What
now
are
you know.
we doing?
Jack's learning during the show. I don't know what we're doing, but Jorge Alejandro Cruz, who coaches the Skyview High School boys soccer team, Jorge also coaches youth soccer for multiple teams.
A high school soccer coach is behind bars, accused of sexting with an undercover officer posing as a girl.
News Specialist Matt Rascone is following the developments for us tonight. He is live in the newsroom with what we know right now. Matt?
Yeah, Mike and Deanie, some disturbing allegations in the probable cause statement. Now this soccer coach at Skyview High in Smithfield is on administrative leave, facing several charges that involve sexting with who he believed was a 13-year-old girl. Jorge Alejandro Cruz led the Skyview boys soccer team to a state championship in 2019 and a regional championship last year. Cache County School District says they first learned about the allegations against Cruz after his arrest. The undercover officer says he was posing as a 13-year-old girl in an online group on a popular phone app when Cruz asked if he could private message her. That turned into an on and off conversation from December last year to February this year. According to the officer, Cruz sent him several disturbing messages. He also sent graphic pictures and videos to the online group they both belonged to. He says Cruz repeatedly asked the undercover officer to send pictures. He even asked to meet, but then didn't show up. The officer said because of Cruz's position as a soccer coach, he is in a position of trust to multiple minors in the community and has easy access to them.
That's enough
Cruz
of that.
is now charged with...
He's being charged of a lot of things, but guess what? Might be your coach. He has a license. It's not only men, it's also females. Here is from Hoover, Atlanta. The Hoover Police Department has arrested a former youth sports coach after she allegedly sexually abused one of her players for multiple years. Megan Billingsley Dees, 30 years old, was arrested Wednesday and charged with first-degree sodomy, first-degree sexual abuse, and enticing a child for immoral purposes. You know what these two coaches have in common, right? They both on MLS Next and ECNL. No, I don't know, but maybe. It's a problem, and they have licenses. They have some. One of them was a teacher. They're certified. You know, it means nothing. Trust who they are. Trust what they show you. If they're touching them, if they're grooming them, parents that don't pay attention to that don't have to take this class. If they're touching them on the shoulders, like, oh, pedophile, can't do it. It's called grooming. Can't do it. Now it's time. Because that was kind of gross, so we had to lighten the mood. It's time for All Ball, where we take a look at some All Ball moments. Now, the first All Ball tackle is going to be what should have been a red card, but it was only a yellow. Take a look. Comment. What do you think? Yellow? Red? Have you ever seen this before? How would you feel if you're a parent to deal with this, if that was your kid? How would you deal with it? You can deal with it in a lot of different ways. Now, it might be a young referee and they only give a yellow and you, that should have been a red or whatever. Breathe. It's okay. Is your child okay? You're not broken or anything like that. Breathe. Everyone needs to learn. Okay? And there's a learning opportunity for the player that gets tackled who's an emotional wreck. Can you control your emotions? Are you able to breathe and be able to get on to the next step? Because controlling your brain takes you to the next level. It absolutely does. If you're able to handle adversity, because there's bad calls or perceived bad calls throughout your entire career, how you handle your emotions, how you deal with stress and anxiety will allow you to be able to run longer, think better, and be a much better player. You have to do that. When do you start learning? Learn right away. If that was a U10 game and a kid came tackling like that, breathe, calm down, allow the process of learning. It's a teachable moment versus what we tend to teach. Throwing a fit, get on the field, saving your baby, or whatever you crazy mothers do and fathers and whatever you are do. It's a problem. This next video, I cannot stand when players do this. This is disgusting. Show it. Dive. I can't stand that. I love VAR. People should be destroyed for that. We need film, and people should be prosecuted for that BS, because those players that do that, they're the same ones that steal, commit adultery, rape, other crimes. Yes, if they do that kind of lie, they're disgusting people. Disgusting. I hate that. I can't stand that. But is this a foul? Look at this intently.
Drop in and just smack the lip. Whoop-ah! Drop down. Snap. Ah!
That is a foul. He cleats up over the ball. Foul. I don't even know if it was called, but pretty funny video. And that's it for all ball. So hopefully you had a chance to watch this entire episode, because I've done a lot of negativity about, I'm trying to paint a picture of the disgusting part of youth soccer. I'm not saying it's all bad. I just think there's a disgusting part of it that needs to be addressed. If hopefully for some of the coaches that, I touch a little bit about you doing the wrong things, whether it's touching kids or screaming, joystick, and all that stuff, it's just to give you an opportunity to reflect, self-reflect. That's why this podcast exists. It's an opportunity to self-reflect, because no one's talking about it. It should be talked about, should be addressed. Watch the podcast and through its entirety in hopes that you'll understand what I'm trying to do. Everyone gets fixated on one thing and they're freaking out and getting hate email and stuff, which I do love, because that means people are watching the podcast. That's all I got. You can find us on iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes, wherever else podcasts are found, which I got to do a better job. Or you can find us on CoachCameron.com, assuming it's still up. And for more access to this podcast, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel that I'm currently on live right now. And you'll know when we're on live, typically every Sunday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's been a beautiful Sunday. Have a great day. See you guys next week.